Bum 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 bum. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Bum 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 bum. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Bum 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 bum. I mean, we're getting ready to do some cool stuff. So you better share the stream and get ready to go, cause here we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, hello everyone. Welcome to Atomic Mass Transmissions Live, and actually live this time because I bet you can actually hear me. Today we were going to paint up this Magna Guard, and I'm going to go ahead and say we went 7 minutes late, so we're going to go 10 minutes over at the minimum today. Sorry there, BK. That's just the way it's going to be. So I got this Magna Guard prepped up last night, and he was the idea was we were going to paint him up. I primed him in purple and yellow, and I wanted to do like something fun and just kind of relaxing and just very impressionistic on him. Just let the colors flow and stuff like that. But right at the last minute, we had a change plan. We're going to do something different. We're going to paint up Boba Fett. Now I'm painting this up for the studio, so that means I'm going to be approaching it much different than I normally do. We're definitely not going to finish it, and we're going to talk. You can ask me some questions. I'm probably going to be a little concentrated, but we're going to be painting up some Boba Fett. So I'm going to click it over to the Minicam, and we are going to get going on this right now. Boom, Minicam Boba Fett's. So as you can see, this is our Boba Fett miniature coming out. I am painting him up for the studio, and I'm currently working on the blacks. I got my wonderful reference up on my screen looking at it. This green is slightly off, but this is just the start of it. I will be using some other colors to change that to the more screen appropriate green of him. But I've been working on my blacks a lot. His costume is very, very black and very, very muted. So I'm playing with a lot of that. I don't know how much more I'm going to highlight. I'm probably going to take a couple of pictures and see where that lands. He's got some pretty rugged gray boots. I may gray those up a little bit more. And he's got a bunch of different armor plates. I can go ahead and show you also the heads, where I'm at on those. You can see the different head options here. So you have the helmetless and the helmet. Once again, I got the green on there. That's not the final color by any stretch. It's a little too saturated, so but this will make a nice start to building up the colors. And I've got the blacks where they need to be. And then our Boba Fett Tamara Morrison face. So I think the first thing I want to do, should we continue with the green now or move and block in some of the other colors? I think I might go ahead and do some other greens. I'm going to go ahead and start building that up. Yeah, this sculpt is really, really awesome. I'm really, really excited for the sculpt. This is very cool to see this miniature come alive in our greedy little hands. I think he's super neat. I mean, of course, I watched the show and thoroughly enjoyed Boba's depiction and the continuing story of him. So that was a lot of fun, and we try to capture a lot of that personality and attitude in this sculpt, of course, like we always do. That's always the goal, is to capture sort of like moments in time, right, with our characters, and kind of tell a little story, right? We want like a little story. Not only is it important for a miniature to stand alone, or stand in a collection and as a part of an entire forest, but it's also nice sometimes to have miniatures that can stand alone. And I think this miniature definitely stands alone. I could totally see this being an excellent choice for painting competitions and stuff like that. So I'm going to get a couple paintbrushes. my mouth. I got a couple greens out. This process will not be fast. This process will be very slow, meticulous. There may be some stuff happening off screen more than normal, and I apologize. I'm mixing colors. I'm trying to get that very distinct Boba Fett color to the armor, and I've got just a whole mishmash of greens, whites, blues, and tans all on my palette to kind of help me define this color. So you can go ahead and ask some questions and I will do my best to answer them. So let's see how this looks. I'm going to use just the tip of my brush. I'm just going to start working this color in. And even though that color underneath is not correct, that's fine. I'm definitely more about building up a bunch of layers and process to get the correct color than I am into rushing toward a color. I'm not trying to rush towards something by any means. I want to spend the appropriate amount of time achieving some accurate colors and some lovely blends and such. This might be a little too yellow still. I need more gray. There's too much. I see where my problem is lying now. I see where the problem lies now. Once again, just mixing up some colors. What scene am I using for? I'm not using any scene. I'm just using reference photos. Okay, yeah, that looks a little better. I like where this is going. Remember, I'm not trying to paint perfect right now. I just need to get colors on. I need to start establishing volume and value and the correct tones. And then later on we'll go back and we'll define and refine and all that. There's always a cleanup steps and developing more and more contrast and stuff. Right now we're just trying to get a couple colors on there. I think I have a little more blue in there, maybe. Some of these colors, some of these Star Wars colors are very, very tricky. I have a lot of undertones and stuff going on. very rich and interesting colors a lot of times. There we go. Any bounty hunter spoilers for Shadow Collective? I do not have spoilers. Sorry. I'm being pretty light with the brush. Very thin paints. Use the side of the brush there. Like so. Oh, that's not my name. Why is that name up? Oh no, my name's not up there. I am not the director of product development. I am so sorry. Who asked that? Look, I wasn't looking at the screen. I'm doing work today, kids. You are getting a peek into actual work, which is funny. This isn't what I normally do with my day, but I'm painting this up. A little inside there behind that chest. You could leave the arms off if you wanted to. Okay. Start darkening this up. A little darker than that. Yeah, my ATSTs are very behind. I need to get cracking on those, is what I need to do. It's true. Just had so many other things to do. I need a real dark, slightly dirty green. I'm just working some basic shadows in this. Like I said, it's hard to talk when I'm doing this. So ask the questions and I'll do my best. Hopefully it'll be neat to see a little peek. A little sneak peek. Might want to do a little. It's one of my favorite things about painting miniatures is like, or miniature games, like it's so much, you get to spend so much of the hobby like prepping for the game, getting those miniatures ready for the table. So you have that really wonderful social interaction with your opponent. I really enjoy this part. Like painting studio miniature is very different than painting for, like, say, a tabletop or even competition, or painting for I need a little, what color do I want? Painting for competition, painting for studio, painting for display, painting for tabletop. They're all kind of different. They all kind of have their own philosophy. So it is sort of nice sometimes to actually come back and, for me, to paint a studio miniature, because I don't get to do this very often, because it's just a different mindset for me. Just different. Just run mix up. It's very thin. I want this very thin right now because I just want to establish some color. That's very, very thin though. Might be a little too aggressively thin, but that's okay. How many build options? He just has 2 head options. It was a lot of fun doing this gaffy stick pose. It was very exciting. Doing something a little different. It's neat seeing that moment, right, in the show. Him using that gaffy stick and just... Oh, you want to see the helmets? There you go. See there, you got a helmet and a no helmet option. Of course. He's got some gold over here. I think that gold goes all the way down, so... according to the reference. So of course for studio, it's very important to get everything accurate. Properly placed. So we talk about destiny of miniatures a lot, right? And the destiny of this miniature is the studio one. So I'm curious what you think, if you had to guess, what would the goal of my painting be here, right? We were just talking about like, you know, you kind of have a different philosophy for different, different goals. So the goal of this is to be a studio miniature. So what should my goal be? You know? Gaffy. That is not how it's spelled. You should totally, if you're curious, you should go look it up. It's spelled really weirdly. So like, what is my goal here? You know, if I'm painting for tabletop, the goal is to get it done. If I'm painting for competition, my goal is to basically impress judges. And, you know, and me, I'm always a firm believer in the philosophy of play to the judge. But what is the goal of a studio miniature in your thoughts? Look good from any one angle. That's a solid goal. I actually want to make it look good for any angle because we do 360 turnarounds. So it's very important for me to get it to look good from all angles because of the 360 turnaround. I mean, it's only one angle is on the box, but if you're looking on the website, there'll be 360s. And we are working on a website. I hope one of his cards is Simple Man Making His Way. Yeah, I like the name of that. Let's get a little of our yellows starting to build in here. So for me, the goal of the studio miniature is to show the miniature, right? To show the miniature. I don't want to hide anything in really deep dramatic shadows. I should do a little white there first. I don't want to hide anything. I want every interesting aspect of the miniature to be displayed for the viewer, right? You know, you can paint stuff in a very dramatic way where you kind of, elements kind of get pushed back into shadows or whatnot. And it looks cool artistically. But then if I'm interested in the piece and I go look at it, I might not understand exactly what's going on, right? Oh, well, what's actually happening on their back? What's happening where that cord goes up and under? So my goal, especially when I'm training a studio painter, is my goal is to always teach people you have to show the whole miniature. You have to show the miniature. Show the potential. Because that's what miniatures are. Miniatures are just little piles of potential, right? It's like I always say, I don't have people use the word pile of shame. I don't have a pile of shame, I have a pile of potential. And I think that's, for me, that's an interesting way to look at it and how I look at it. But also just the potential in, what can you do creatively? Like, what can you do when you look at this? Like, maybe you don't see him done up in the black and green and maroon, right? I want to show the potential of, like, maybe he's all in chrome armor, like, Din Djarin or something. Like, show the potential. Yeah, little piles of potential. That's what it's all about. All right, back to the greens. Sounds like a Pagani is leaving. He's outside. Pagani! Oh, we were going to let him say hello, but sounds like he already left. He was saying hi outside the door. Like, I have no shame in my pile. I was talking with my partner last night. So many little miniatures, so much little potential, and I'm not ashamed of any of it. I know someday I'll get to some of it, and someday I won't get to some of it, and that's okay. I got all my little projects. And I work on them almost every night. I think that exhaust is not green, so I'm not going to paint that yet. I'm just blocking in colors anyway, so it's not a big deal. A little highlight across that chest plate. Just let the brush do the work. Might do a couple little scritches. Let's start building in that texture and that life, right? The little Jedi Order symbol on the shoulders, those can be a lot of fun. Did anybody catch my the Luke Skywalker I posted on social media a while back? We're going to paint this like lights coming from multiple directions here. I did the Luke Skywalker wearing the snowspeeder costume, the orange jumpsuit. And I was making a joke. I was just like, I was telling Chick, I was just like, oh, I wish I had decals. He's like, paint those symbols on. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So I painted those little symbols on the helmet, the little rebel symbols, and it it was challenging, but you know, after you do it, it's always fun to like kind of stretch and, you know, maybe kind of boff it and then come back and like try it again and actually do it. I play a lot of video games that have that sort of like mentality. Like you're not going to do it the first time, so you got to try and try and try, and then finally you succeed. So like sometimes just, I mean, that's just life, right? I mean, it's just life is all about failing and learning from your fail. So it was a lot of fun to like get in there and just really paint those little rebel symbols on the helmet. How did we get started on this? It's just a little delicate, building up colors. Painting studio miniature can take a real long time. Typically for a character such as one Boba Fett, if I was doing this full time, I would probably allocate, maybe 3 full days, 3 full 8-hour days to accomplish this. Let's go back to the helmet. Tone this down. So is everybody enjoying this style of painting today? Let me know what you think. A little blend. We're going to bring the highlight up toward the top of the cheek. That'll bring the contrast toward the shadow on the underside of that. Yeah, this is much different than we normally do, so that'd be fun. That'd be fun. Highlight coming from, let's go from sort of this direction. Very wet paint. Just bonked my brush. Go to the back here. Oh, this miniature will probably never see table. This particular painted version will probably never see table. I don't usually allow anyone to use studio miniatures. They get the look. If a studio miniature has to hit the table for stream, you have to go through a rigorous discussion with me about the rules. Yeah, the game table is not this miniature's destiny. Not one bit. Clean the brush, clean the brush. Gotta get that brush, clean the brush. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Grab a couple colors. Now I'm excited to paint this for myself too. It's the best part about painting the studio one. Then I get to do it again for myself. Someday. Just be patient with these little lines. Just tip of the brush, let the paint flow. Like I said, the paint wants to do its job. Trying to stay on screen for y'all. Someday I have to show you how I actually paint. I don't know exactly how we do that, because you won't see the measure. I've got that thing turned upside down, inside out. Any angle it takes to get the paint in the right spot. That's how I paint miniatures. Oh yeah, I like that color a lot. So we just kind of block in colors, and then I like to take my time with this, especially, something that's, like I said, this is for a studio, so I gotta make sure the colors are very, very accurate. So I like to build up, and the first coat might not be perfect, and then I'll just start working my way into perfect. Also, knowing the way I paint with very thin layers. This gives me a lot of flexibility and adaptability. Lets me shift gears on the fly a lot, and change direction very quickly. So I utilize all those things to my advantage, obviously. This was not the right color. That's okay. We're just going to keep building into it. Maybe this will help me create that tone on the underside and build up. Those little maroon gauntlets. I'm going to have to find better pictures. He's got these cables. I believe they are black. This cable is black. This will not be heavily weathered. Yeah, I'd be super excited to see the different takes that the community brings to this miniature. I like this white prototype armor idea that we're talking about in chat for the original sculpt Boba. That sounds really dope. Yeah, I'm probably not going to remember painting miniatures as a fine art correcting one's mistakes. So if you get a little paint somewhere, that's where that second brush is for. Get in there and clean that up. As you can see, I'm not rushing these yellows, right? Everybody talks about painting yellows. Just don't rush it. Yellow is a pigment that exists in the world that is not super opaque. So it takes a nice undercoat or multiple layers to get it right. Since I'm not trying to nail the color as the first shot, I'm not like trying to just boom, first shot, got the color. I'm okay with a couple layers that are not accurate, and then I can build up just so those give me those establishing layers for my yellow. It actually makes a more interesting and rich yellow as well. What else we got here going on? Boba Fett depicted in The Mandalorian, yes. What a fantastic episode. Tamara Morrison just laying down a beating on some stormtroopers. So good, so good. Taking them to school. Seam lines. You mean these dope boot seam lines that were designed? Oh, we got raided. Hello, raid. I got out of the Sarlacc. He uses jetpack. All right, what is next? Let's continue. Let's go back to some black. Clean up a little bit around where I messed up. Got a little green there. Oh man, Dengar is dope. Like you're like, here's like this collection of bounty hunters, and there's like a robot and a lizard and some cat wearing the coolest armor ever created, and then Dengar is standing in this crowd as just a dude with a head wrap. And it's like, if you're standing in this crowd of like awesome bounty hunters and all you are is a dude with a head wrap, I gotta imagine you are one tough sucker. right? You are like one heck of a bounty hunter. And oh yeah, I love IG droids. Like, I love IG droids. Like, such a fun design. Mixing a little color over here. Little this, little that, little this, little that. Coming in at a weird angle. There we go. Here we go. Dragoon 232. Yes, this is Boba Fett based on his appearance in The Mandalorian. So he's got his cool gaffy stick and he's got a couple head options. Did I get those on screen? I did. Yeah, IG-11 was so cool. Really enjoyed that in the show. Okay, let's build in a little highlight. Not gonna get too crazy on this. Keep my sharpen my brush. Nice fine lines. Yeah, I love this sculpt. Like, I cannot wait to get one for myself. Like, I always been a huge fan of the armor, the Mandalorian style armor. And watching that show and seeing Tamara Morrison just be really, really cool. Just got me super excited for this miniature. Like, just sitting here painting this and talking with all of y'all, I got starting to get ideas for some ideas for like a diorama or like a display kind of piece. That would be a lot of fun to work on. Hello, Leato Art. How's it going? There's no announcements. We're just having fun painting. We're just having a good time painting today, hanging out, enjoying a lovely Wednesday paint time together. The question is, when I do mine, do I do the bear head or the helmeted head? I think the bear head. I think the bear head. What is the game stream tomorrow, BK? I can't remember. I'm not playing, so I don't remember. Put the helmet on the base. I like that idea. Like he's taking it off. He's like, I'm done with this. Fed up with this noise. I like it. I like it. Okay, so now I'm curious if anybody else is in the same mindset as me. Okay, if you're doing a display / diorama using this Boba Fett miniature, what is he doing in your diorama? I know what mine's doing. Already got it. I want to pitch this idea to BK and see if he'll let me do this. Not with this miniature. This miniature is for a studio. Some little tiny highlights. Bearhead boa. I love it. He loves salmon. Oh, permission granted. I haven't even told you the idea yet. We'll have to talk off screen. And some more brighter highlights. Let's put a little life in here, little dings. Something like that. I do love the stormtrooper whooping scene, but I got something else in mind. We'll have to see if we can maybe do something with it. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll see what happens. I'll talk to BK. All right, what's next? Well, what's next is we got like literally like 5 minutes. All right, we only got a few more minutes. I got meetings I got to go to. So, what? Drop your questions. Let's get going. No, I don't know anything about the rules. Just preface now. Center of this diamond is white. Let's go ahead and see how this looks. I need a little blue tack. A little dab of blue tack. Let's put the helmet on and see what it looks like right now. That's not quite setting in because of the blue tack, so you have to forgive. I think he's getting there. I think he's getting there. I'm getting quite happy with the way this is looking. I'm establishing some colors that just keep leading me to new places, which is the goal, right? I just need color to keep taking me places. Oh, I would definitely volunteer to be the stormtrooper that got hit in the head. Absolutely. I agree. That's like the job you want. Wait, Jenga or Boba's gonna hit me in the head? Yes. Fantastic. Okay, we only got a few minutes left. Gonna have to wrap it up. I gotta go to my meeting. Alan C98, what color green is that? This is all custom. I don't even know the names of all the paints on the palette. I just have a wet palette full of paints. I got like a military green. I got 2 different types of military greens. I got some blues and tans and some browns. I just got a bunch of colors and I'm just kind of mixing them together to get the right sort of color. So I'm pretty happy. The head does fit on here. I just got the blue tack in there and I don't want to futz with it too much because it's still being painted. But all in all, feeling pretty good with where he is going. It's time to put a little shadow in there. Start bringing the green and the shadows down. It's a little too vibrant. So I want to bring that down just a ever so slight touch. All depends on lighting, stuff like that. But I'm overall pretty happy with where he is going, and actually I'm really happy with where I got in an hour. Usually painting stuff like this much slower, especially when we're talking and doing this on stream. Painting for a studio level is much trickier, much more time and mental consuming. So it was actually kind of nice to just give everybody a little peek into kind of what my process is, slow, for doing something like this. And, maybe we'll do more of these. If you find them interesting and find them cool, let us know. Remember, every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday here on Twitch, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is Atomic Mass Transmissions. Tuesday and Wednesday are typically paint streams. Thursdays, you can check our game streams. Tomorrow we got a game going on between, I believe, Josh and Schick. So be sure to check that out because it's got Josh in it. It's going to be amazing. And remember to check us out on Twitter and Instagram for all the latest news, information, and announcements coming from Atomic Mass Transmissions about all your favorite miniature games. So until then, we'll catch you later and go out and be the hero we all know you can be. I'm going to play a song.